morning, everyone. My name is Alan Sanchez, also known as Pollo. Yes, that is chicken in Spanish. Happy birthday, Cosmos. It's amazing to see how time flies by. It was 5 years ago when I was here, having the time of my life. I was in Cluster 6, as Becky mentioned. At the time, it was exploring the cosmos, which is more of a astrophysics class. And it was by far one of the coolest courses I ever took. I had great professors, TAs, teacher fellows who really helped us and aided us through the 4 weeks and made everything that much more interesting for me. Now, after the courses, after coming back from a long day of working in the lab, you got this beautiful green right here, ERC. And I lived in North America, Suite 410. Where's 410 at? 410! What's up? And I learned a lot from my suite mates, my RA, my classmates. I learned their values, their stories, their goals in life and in academics. Overall, Cosmos was definitely a life-changing experience for me. Going back to high school, I went to Coachella Valley High School. I know I got some Coachelanos here. Where you at? Yeah! And like I said, my attitude towards academics changed. I wanted to take the ACT again, the SAT. Even though I was really content with the scores I had during my junior year, I said, no, I could do it better. I can definitely enhance my scores. I started researching different universities, their engineering programs, and what they had to offer. Not only that, I visited those universities. I definitely visited 12 plus universities to see if I can see myself in that environment, in that community. After my senior year, towards the end of it, I had a set amount of universities, and I looked at all of them, and it was a no-brainer. I chose UCSD. It was where I went to Cosmos. It was the right choice for me. I was admitted for mechanical engineering, and my first year I lived in North America, back where it all started. I was in Suite 110. Where's 110 at? Yeah. See, what Cosmos did for me, it helped me in the transition from high school to college. I knew the facilities, I knew where Price Center was at. I had great roommates, I knew the laundry room was right there, that's why I chose North America, it's close. I had a really cool roommate, you might know him, his name's Avery. So, Cosmos did a lot for me, and that's why I felt like I had to come back and give back to the program. So I wanted to be an RA, and that's what I did. 2 summers ago, I was an RA for Cosmos. I was in Suite 310, where's 310 at? Yeah! And it was, if anything, being an RA for Cosmos was definitely more rewarding. Watching my residents and then my cluster, they're like my little brothers and sisters, even though they were taller than me. Watch them grow and develop within 4 weeks, just as I did, brought back a lot of memories, and therefore it was way more rewarding. Now, Cosmos gave back to me again, and I say that because I was working in the office one day, and her name's Sandra. She used to work in the office with Kimberly, Diane, and Becky. And one day we were talking about physics, because she's also a physics major with a minor in mechanical engineering. And we're talking about quantum mechanics, light has no mass, but carries momentum. And I told her how I really wanted to pursue a degree in physics, but I was really discouraged. I felt like I wasn't going to do it in time, it was going to cost a lot of money. But she really encouraged me, told me, give me a list of names of who to talk to, go to the physics department, and pursue what I wanted to do, which is obtain another degree in physics. By the end of Cosmos, fall quarter came along, and sure enough, I went straight to the physics department, and I applied, had a set schedule for a 5-year plan to see if I can double major, and I got accepted, so now I'm a double major in mechanical engineering and in physics. So, thank you so much. So there it is again, Cosmos giving back with people they hire, and just overall, it was a fun experience. Now, last summer, as bad as I wanted to be an RA and give back again, I decided to do something different. I wanted to apply for internships and jobs. I felt that I was ready. And sure enough, I applied to tons of them, but one really caught my eye, and it was a biotech company, which is, they're known as Tristan Technologies. The thing is, when applying, I noticed that they were only looking for graduate students. But the thing is, I don't let that discourage me. I've already gone this far. Why am I going to let too little qualifications keep me from applying? So I applied, and sure enough, 2 weeks later, they emailed me saying if I want an internship. I worked in their machine shop where I learned about tools and whatnot. Then after working there for a month, they trusted me. They made me create these coils. And what these coils do, what the company does, it's a neural imaging system company where they make all these devices. And I made these coils, and what these coils do is they pick up physiological potentials in the brain. Now, in order for them to work, though, the material is superconductive, so they have to be really, really cold. Sorry, I'm a nerd, but they have to be really cold, and we use liquid helium, which is 4 Kelvin. 4 Kelvin. That's a 4 Kelvin away from an impossible temperature, absolute zero. Whoa. So we have to use liquid helium to keep these materials cool in order to have the wiring to have practically no resistance, electrical resistance. And with that, in this device, we integrated, we used heat transfer, thermodynamics, solid mechanics, all integrated into one device. And all this designed on SolidWorks, which is a 3D modeling software. By far, one of the coolest jobs ever. Not as cool as being an RA for Cosmos, though. This year, again, I wanted to be an RA for Cosmos, but some of you might be familiar with the name, Cal IT2. I ended up having an internship there where I have an advisor and working on really cool projects. But see, this is all because of Cosmos. They really prepared for me for all of this. You have 2 great professors, Dr. DeCalifon, I don't know if I pronounced that right, I'm sorry, and then Dr. Nate Nelson, who I personally worked under. He was there when I did my introduction class for mechanical engineering. My robotics class was really cool. And then he was my advisor for my senior design project. He had 8 teams to mentor, and he helped with all the advice and hints in order to address any issues we had in our projects. So, you see, Cosmos has a lot to offer. They have professors who really care about students teaching. And I know a lot of you don't get credit coming here, but what you should value is what you learn here, and value what Cosmos is giving to you, give you a bit of perspective of whether you want to go to a big university, or maybe UCSD is where you want to be, if engineering is your field. So, thank you, Cosmos. Before I finish, I'm going to give a few thank yous. Thank you to Charles, too. Where are you? Charles, too, thank you so much for doing such a great job representing UCSD, Cosmos at UCSD, and for allowing me to come to speak today. 3 amazing women, Becky, Diane, and Kimberly, for doing such a great job planning all the events, dealing with admissions, answering questions to parents. If it weren't for you, Cosmos would fall apart. Another thank you to Sandra for helping me pursue another degree in physics. I might even change that into an emphasis on astrophysics, because who doesn't love space? Another thank you to an amazing woman who I pretty much consider her my mother. She has guided me for the past 2 years. She is the epitome of grace, and she's so positive, you can't help but to be positive. It's so contagious. Michelle Greenlee, thank you so much. I look forward to working with you for another year, and hopefully next summer as well. One final thank you to, I know I've been thanking Cosmos for all that it's done for me, but there's one person who I really got to thank, because if it wasn't for her, I would never have known about Cosmos, and I don't think I would have made it this far. And it's Elena Duarte. Thank you so much. I've honestly never had a stranger have so much confidence in me. She's also from Coachella Valley High School, and I remember when she came in, she made it seem like I had a great deal of potential, and she gave me so much hope and faith that I can do whatever I wanted to. And not only me, you made a big impact on a lot of students. Mariela Magaña, Liliana Llamas, Eduardo Lalo Gonzalez, his little sister, Vanessa Gonzalez, and many more, even the students here. You made a great impact, and you really changed my goals and aspirations. For the next 20 years, 30 years, I'm gonna obtain as much knowledge as I can. I'm going to do the best I can. And then once I'm retired, you name it, I'm gonna go back to Coachella Valley, and I'm gonna teach, and I wanna spread that knowledge and give students hope and faith like you have for me. Muchas gracias. Thank you for everything that you've done for me. We only have 2 weeks left. Time flies by. Make the best of it. Don't ever be discouraged. Remember, you're here for a reason. You are bright and brilliant students. I expect great things from all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pollo. I really appreciate that.